Good tea. Nice house.
Hello and good evening. Star Trek The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 3, titled The Survivors, is over, and it has been since October 9th of 1989, but we're just getting started here on this October 2nd of 2025 as we continue our mission to watch every episode of Star Trek The Next Generation and talk all about it. And as we mentioned, we're talking about the survivors, a massacre, a melody, and a man who isn't what he seems. When the truth is too powerful to punish, the crew decides what mercy really means. This is the 51st episode overall of Star Trek The Next Generation, written by Michael Wagner and directed by Les Landau. And here's the guy who is still wondering if letting a god grieve in peace is mercy or just self-preservation. I'm your host, Dave Mater, and we got a great panel here to break it all down tonight. Coming in first, a newcomer. He's the co-host of Hey, Did You See This One? And the voice behind fan fictions like The Darth Theorist and The Three-Eyed Theorist. Whether it's cosmic grease or character nuance, he's painting the scene with a precision and performance. Please welcome to the show, it's Stephen Waters.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to finally be here on this podcast. And very excited. Yeah, thank you. And very excited to talk about this weird episode. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
It's a little bit dark, but yeah, I'm excited to get into it with you. Glad to finally get you on the podcast on a Thursday night where you're free, Stephen. So welcome to the show.
Absolutely.
Coming in here next, who is it? He's scanning the Dowd's power for canon-breaking anomalies and checking if the music boxes pass the tech test. Chief engineer and Trivial Debates showrunner, it's Chris Worldmind Murphy.
I wiped out an entire species just to be here.
Well, I'm not qualified to judge you for your crime.
No one
is.
There's no law befitting it.
There's no law about this, so I guess I can just say,
yeah,
have a nice life.
Nothing about killing entire races of people.
No.
Nothing.
Why would we ever write a law about such a thing? Okay. Coming in here next, a little bit of surprise for me, but a happy one here. He's always asking what it means to forgive the unforgivable and whether survival is ever truly innocent. Our spiritual leader, Kevin Millard.
Wait, was I not supposed to be on this one?
I'm glad you're here, but
okay.
I didn't know you were coming. Glad you're here. So
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, because Jody was kind of a maybe, and so we were looking for a substitute this morning. No one really piped in, but since you already thought you were coming, it worked out. Yeah, guys, we're talking about this episode. The Kevin Uxbridge, Rashawn Uxbridge, this mystery of a house on a destroyed colony. Spoilers, of course, from 1989, if you haven't seen this yet. I think it's a pretty good one. I want to go to Stephen first. What were your thoughts on the episode?
So I wasn't sure going into this one because there are a lot of sort of episodes of particularly early TNG that I'm kind of like, oh god, is this going to be a holdover from like the 1960s writers? They like dust off a script and they're like, it's going to be a couple of retirement folks on a crazy planet. And so I wasn't sure going in, but we
pushed past most of that now.
Yes,
that was more season 1 and season 2 stuff.
And even like everything from camera work and just blocking on frame and stuff, and having actual locations and things like that. Like it all just feels a little bit more polished and nice. But these typically are kind of my favorite Star Trek episodes, where they introduce sort of a loose mystery at the beginning, and whether it be revealed to be something horrifically dark like this one does, or they play around with it and get playful. I do typically enjoy the mystery episodes the most. The mystery and horror episodes of Star Trek are typically my favorite. So I did actually have quite a good time with this one, and I'm excited to break it down with you guys.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, there's a mystery here. This is kind of like 2 episodes in a row where Picard has like an epiphany moment, coming off the Ensigns of Command, where he's the one who figures out what the thing is with the Shellyak, and he's able to do it here. And Picard seems to figure everything out before anyone else can amongst his crew. So he looks pretty...
There's a moment in this where every single person on the deck is like looking at him in horror, being like, "What are you doing, man?"
Yeah, especially Riker. Riker's like, "Are you sure?
Like, trust me, everyone. I know what I'm doing. Just let them die. It's fine."
Yeah, I weren't being toyed with number one, and number one doesn't.
My favorite is how angry Riker is that they're not going to pursue that ship anymore.
Yeah, I guess this one's getting away. Chris, I want to go to you next. Have you watched this one before? And how was this one if not the first time or the rewatch?
Yeah, I did watch this before, roughly about this time last year, actually, and then I watched it right before the show. I liked it at the time when I first watched it. I thought it was an interesting little portrayal of like in mystery, in the sense like how is this little plot of land surviving in a desolate wasteland. And the ultimate reveal is it made for an interesting twist. And watching it again, I did enjoy it a little more. I was, it works as almost as a radio play too. There's a lot of dialogue that just sort of paints the picture in your heads. So I don't know. I just was a big fan.
This would make a good radio theater, I think, just because it's mostly, theater of the mind, if you will. You're kind of what's described and a lot of talking. Kevin, moving to you next. How was this one? How does this one rank for you?
I like this. It's more mid-tier for me in this in the Star Trek canon, but no, it's good. I like Worf in this a lot. Just his deadpan, good tea, nice house. Or I admire Gaul.
I admire Gaul. I can't explain it, Captain, why I did detect this huge warship that just came around the moon. Whatever it is,
Yeah, I like that he's severely disappointed in himself for a lot of this episode. He's like, God damn it, I fucked up again, didn't I? Yeah.
I cannot explain this.
And when Picard walks onto the bridge and he's like, "So, Worf?" Like,
yeah, I have that as a screenshot. Just the look he gives, and I think someone else like looks at Worf. Maybe it's Jody or somebody, and they're just like, "Worf, you can't detect that?
It's huge.
Come on,
it's 5 times our mass. What the heck, man?"
Yeah, and like this race, the Husnock, who we never get to really meet, because all 50 billion of them were wiped out in an instant. Which, man. Like when you really wrap your head around that, like you're like 50 billion. Like the entire Earth has 9 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking like 5 times that, if not more.
And it's a good moment when he reveals, when he says like, "No, all Husnock, everywhere.
Everywhere.
It was a real Anakin Skywalker, not just the men, but the women and the children too. They're like, Jesus, Kevin.
Kevin killing younglings everywhere. That's just trying to, and being this Dowd. Also, I just think the performance of these 2 guest stars is really good for me. With Kevin and Rashawn Uxbridge, played by John Anderson and Anne Haney. Anne Haney was in so many things in like the 90s. Like she was like every grandmother. She comes back in Star Trek Deep Space Nine as like a judge in the Dax episode where Dax is on trial for something Curzon is accused of doing. She's really good. Although, maybe when we get to the screenshot, I'm just gonna ask you how old you think they really were, because this episode tells us that they're 85 and 82, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly, and they are not. They are significantly younger than that. But that's those city miles, I guess we used to get on back in the day, right? In the 20th century. World mind a little quiet. We might want to boost you there.
Yeah, I should have fixed that. That should be good now.
Okay, yeah, a little better now. Okay, well, this is the part of the show where we jump into the episode screenshots and we kind of just run through everything we saw and talk all about it along the way. So we'll start off with the cold open of it all, which is a captain's log. We are responding to a distress signal from the colony, Rana 4, I think, right, is the name of it?
Yes, Delta Rana 4.
Delta Rana 4. It took us the Enterprise 3 days to get here. It's a pretty remote colony. And just for the record, being a Federation colonist seems like a very hazardous occupation or livelihood. It seems like you're open to attack all the time in all parts of the Federation.
You don't maintain communication with them much either, apparently. It's like, oh, we were hoping the Federation might show up, but we didn't even know if you guys existed. It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, she says that she was worried that all of the Federation got destroyed by these guys. We also learn later on that they don't have any intergalactic travel capabilities in this. So I guess it's just like you land and you stay there. That's it.
They have no ship, not one warp-capable shuttle, nothing.
You have to stay until you can grow tomatoes too.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, they all arrived on air balloons, Yeah.
Apparently. So they're coming in. There's no call sign from the colony as they're approaching it. So they're kind of at high alert here. No life detections. Troy can't. She's like, at this range, I should be detecting something.
Yeah, there's supposed to be 11,000 people, and I hear nothing. But also, there's a good moment with Crusher where she's like, maybe it's an illusion. And I'm like, you got it, Crusher. Crusher solved the mystery immediately. It's an illusion.
Glad she's back.
Listens to her. Yeah. Not a single person says, we should investigate that.
Yes.
No.
Upon arriving at the colony, they find it just destroyed. It looks like nuclear holocaust. It's been completely, all parts of it have been leveled. Is this where Crusher's like, maybe it's an illusion? How could
have
this
you guys
happen?
considered that it could be an illusion? And they're like, shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley's mom.
Yeah.
So,
Strange. There's 11,000 people on the colony, but I don't feel any of them.
right. And then all of a sudden, they detect something on the planet here. Well, let's put it on the screen. I think Wesley's the one who finds it, of all people.
I found a tennis court.
And there it is. You see just this one little green plot of land for the house of Kevin and Rashawn Exbridge that we'll come to find has been spared of the devastation of the colony. Quite curious here. I do love this little visual from the view screen. I think it's so interesting to see, just kind of demonstrates what they're trying to sell us here in this idea of one little square.
I feel like the crew should be even more confused by this. And concerned. They treat this as very normal.
Yeah, they're like, well, that's
How
weird.
did that happen?
So strange.
It's weird, but I don't know. I guess they just take things at their face value.
look at Picard's face. He's definitely like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Everyone else is like, huh?
Can I have just one easy mission?
God
I've
damn
been
it.
to a lot of destroyed colonies, and this has never happened before. Anyway,
Perfectly trim those hedges.
yeah, I think this is where Crusher suggests the illusion. But that is our teaser for the episode. The mystery of it all is put out there, and we head into our credits after that.
Sorry.
Yes. Coming back, our title card over the Enterprise at the colony. And as they head to the transporter room to send an away team down to figure out what the hell's going on, Troy says, well, I'm feeling something from them down there, knowing that there are 2 human life signs, but there's something weird about it. I don't know quite what to say. This will become important later with Troy as I guess she's the only telepath on board that Kevin Uxbridge needed to be worried about.
Yeah, it's also here. This is just moment is like it really just is letting us steep in the mystery a bit more to be like, no, not only is that the weird thing, but there's more weirdness. You guys aren't even prepared for what's coming.
And he lived his whole life. We're told that Kevin Uxbridge lived like this entire life pretty much as a human, posing as a human. And if he encountered any betazoids in those years, he would have had a problem.
Or, maybe unless they're looking for it, maybe he can kind of pass, because he was saying that she was getting closer and closer to realizing who he was. So maybe at a very base level, he'll be able to hide it in some capacity. But if they're looking specifically into him, then that's when the trouble might arise.
And she can put all her focus onto him and her. And like,
exactly.
There's something weird going on. And then he's like, play the music. Let's go. We'll come back to that. Anyway, so Riker's ready to lead the team down. They take a 5-man away team down here. They're checking it out. Riker, Crusher, Worf, Jody, and Data head on down. We see the on the surface here the destruction in a nice matte painting as they did in this era.
Doesn't even really look like destruction. It just looks like they're in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah.
Like there's no city line or any that looks destroyed. It just looks like a rocky area.
Just looks rocky. Yeah, like this could just be rough terrain too. But then you kind of pan over to the Uxbridge's house and get a sense of what it used to be like here. Presumably.
This Kevin guy, I swear, like he could have, if he's some sort of master of illusion, he could have made that less of a hard line. It's like so crisp, the grass line.
Why didn't he recreate the whole colony?
Exactly.
Anyway, so
Well, he didn't actually. He didn't actually like those people that much.
Yeah.
I mean, he let them die.
yeah.
You don't know how annoying their damn dog was. They kept pooping on my lawn.
Now the lawn is pristine.
I've spent 53 years maintaining this lawn, and I'm not going to let that dog come back and ruin it again.
So the away team beams down. They start looking around. Jody, with his special visor vision, can see that there's nothing too special about this house. No reason that it would be able to withstand orbital bombardment necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nothing
Riker's
special about this house, but there's a booby trap under the grass.
Yeah, tetherball trap. Gotcha.
Yes,
And then they all start playing tetherball with Riker's flailing body.
Yeah, after Worf gives his little life signs, like there's 2 people, and there's a phaser that's deactivated, so in the house, but nothing to worry about. So Riker goes first, and then Geordi, not a little late here with his little warning, says, "No, Riker, Commander Riker, check out there. There's something there." And we get the little trap here that I guess Kevin Uxbridge did. He always have this.
Just another Worf just scanned there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a possibility that Kevin created it as he was walking towards it, right? And
Possibly, yeah. Like, was this
There's a trigger point. It was a trigger point. He had to walk past a certain level, and the game spawned it.
Kevin's whole thing is just fucking with Worf the whole time. Like, that's the whole reason for this. He's just trying to break Worf's confidence.
Yeah, Worf sucks with a tricorder. That's what you need to know. So Riker goes right up here. He's because the whole pole has to come out of the ground, and it's quite the elaborate trap.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's not a very practical trap, though.
Right. And there's this man with the phaser that doesn't work. The pacifist himself, Kevin Uxbridge.
This is actually a nose hair trimmer. It's completely useless. It's only dangerous to nose hair.
Yeah.
We're from the Enterprise. We're here to say hi. We
Yeah.
came to respond to your distress signal.
Right. From the Federation, Starfleet, we get to meet Rashawn Uxbridge, his wife, or so we think at this point, who says, "Kevin, put that down. Can't you see that these are our guests?" Nice Starfleet officers who reveal to them, like, "Did you know the colony was attacked?" "Yes, we knew, but what happened? We never saw their faces, and everyone is dead except for you." Oh, that's sad. Kevin
The
Uxbridge
entire
says,
ship blotted out the sun. It was crazy.
huge starship. It was so big we could see it from the surface here. They start giving their testimony, and I want to reveal the because this is where Data says, "Oh, you are so and so. You're Kevin Uxbridge, Rashawn Uxbridge. Of this background, came to the colony.
You're a biologist, and
They're botanists that came from the aquatic city in the Atlantic Ocean or something. That whole thing, I was like, cool. they're aquatic scientists who specialize in plant life. I like this.
Yes, marine biologists.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So as I was saying, they're supposed to be like 85 and 82. I think we're told in the dialogue. They are 67 and 55.
Jeez.
Well, the thing is,
they would old age make up people a lot, and these people probably smoked. They probably
I was gonna say the cigarettes that these people have consumed in the 40s alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I completely buy that they're in their 80s, like when I'm told this, and then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, they're like, she's in her 50s.
That's not even that far away from our ages.
No, it's not. So anyway, just like, I know it was the 80s, but geez, anyway, but I completely buy it.
3 years away from her.
I know. In 3 years, you're gonna look like her, Kevin. Just get ready. So.
The hair's gonna start curling and go gray any minute now.
You can play Rashawn Uxbridge in the next remake of TNG or whatever they're probably working on right now in the background.
Yes. Casting Kevin. You might have to shave the beard, but anyway, so they head into the house here to see if there's anything about it that's special that protected them from the attack. They start looking around.
It's a relatively normal house except for their one space armchair. It's like, this is the futuristic armchair that we've got here.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty standard. As we mentioned, the Worf and Kevin Uxbridge moment here. Your attempt to keep us at ball was pretty ballsy.
May I say your attempt to hold the away team at bay with a non-functioning weapon was an act of unmitigated gall. I admire gall.
I admire gall. You know, that was a good.
I
moment
love
here.
gall. Yeah.
We then head over to Data, who takes an interest in the music box of Rashawn Uxbridge. And she's like, "Oh, take a look at it. It's so lovely. It's been my family for generations." And Data has a childlike wonder as he looks at it.
Like, I'm a wind-up toy too.
But on the Enterprise, someone else doesn't think it's so funny or so wondrous. With the music box, as Troy starts getting telepathically.
I do like what they did here with the music, where it was like playing the ice cream truck music or whatever the fuck it was playing, and then it like slowly has the the dark string edge to it, kind of like sort of reverberating from the bass low, and you're like, okay, this is where the mystery is really taking off.
Yeah, and there's something more nefarious here. You start to say, like, well, maybe these people aren't what they seem. There's something going on here. But the torture of Deanna Troi and Marina Sirtis, like, she kills it in this episode, like, selling us this idea of what's like, she just can't stop hearing this music. One of her better ones, I'd say. Back on the planet, Riker teams up here with Crusher just to say, there's nothing weird about this house. It's just a house. As Data's looking at the music box. So they want Kevin and Rashawn to come with them. They're like, okay, well, since the entire colony is destroyed, you would presumably want to come back with us to Federation space. No, this is where we live. We don't want to leave.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. Yeah. What? Like,
you just gotta
okay. Just devil's advocate. They're in their 80s. Just let them live out their, remaining 10, 20 years tops at this place. Give them a nice clean water well. Like, why pull them off the planet?
Well, and Riker says, you have the right to stay. I can't make you come with me, but it's kind of weird, Yeah. They're not, without a replicator, they would have no water. There would be a lot of issues there, right? So they would at least need
that their water is contaminated. They have some access to food, but it's just a small garden, and basically they don't have enough to be able to survive for more than 5 years on their own.
Yeah. Right. And since they're in their 80s, maybe that's all they need. But but
they got no room for gentrification.
Wait, isn't it like in Star Trek that you live?
Good thing they're almost making it to the end. Yeah.
Yeah. They give him. Riker gives his comm badge over. It says, "Well, if you have an emergency, you know where to call me." We'll be in orbit for a little bit longer here. Thank you.
Okay, your comm badge. Why do you not got like something else? Maybe something in your pocket you could hand somebody. You just get a hand over your personal comm badge. Like,
Yeah, you can get a new one.
Yeah, you just go replicate another one when he gets back up there.
Yeah. So
He's got a whole he's got a bedside table full of comm badges he hands out all the time. You know how Riker is with his fucking his male gall, his unmitigated gall with
The
women.
comm badges are like notches on the bedpost.
Yeah.
this isn't even my comm badge. It was last night's.
This is
fling.
my personal comm badge when he's at a bar. It's like, I thought you said you only give it to me. And it's like all these women have his comm badges.
As they head back, there's on the Enterprise. They're having a conference here, trying to talk about like what is this? What is it? How did they survive? What is going on here? What is the mystery? Is there anything from these scans we can learn? And obviously throughout the whole meeting, Troy is detached. She's only hearing the music. She can't get out of it. Riker seems completely aware. He's always staring at Troy throughout this entire scene while everyone else is talking.
It's very he's awkwardly aware, where it's like he does not look at anybody who's talking to him. He's just staring at Troy the entire time.
But doesn't ask her if she's okay or
No.
seems or anything like that. But I don't know.
Maybe he thinks that he has telepathic abilities.
He does have a connection to her telepathically, like as the Imzadi, but he's not hearing the music. Anyway, so they try to ask Troy a question. She's like, "Oh, sorry, I was kind of daydreaming. Can I, And they're like, "Well, can you detect anything, counselor?" She's like, "I have to go. I'm not feeling well.
I have diarrhea. Gotta go."
Needs a Pepto-Bismol. Dr. Crusher offers to help, but she
you know
says,
how
"No,
hard it is
it's
to
all
clean
good."
poop stains out of a teal onesie?
It's
think
almost impossible, Captain.
It's I think that she possibly should have reported this sooner.
Absolutely. This is one of the most frustrating things about this episode to me, is that she's clearly having some sort of episode, whether it be stress-induced or have something to do with the mysterious circumstances of the crazy fucking planet that they're interacting with, but she doesn't tell anybody until she's literally screaming in pain that she can't make the music stop and it's too loud.
Exactly. Yeah. So she leaves. Good thing Picard followed up.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
He's a good captain.
Yeah. And so that's where he heads next. He heads over to Deanna Troi, but Worf catches him in the corridor here of the Enterprise and say, "Don't worry, Captain. I've searched for any warship, and there's not any warship." And Picard tells a story about the Andorian renegades who once took their ship apart and hid it to fool Starfleet censors. And Worf says, "Well, that was a different situation. I'm way more thorough than that time.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry.
They don't have to deal with me."
If there was a taken apart starship somewhere, I would definitely get it." And Picard says, "Okay, man, whatever you say. I'll trust you."
Essentially, like, I'd stake my, not as
Reputation.
honor, but reputation, yeah.
I would stake my reputation on it. Well, that's going to come to pass pretty soon here.
You're going to have that opportunity.
As Troy in her quarters with the lights dark is dealing with the music in her mind. She's only in stage 1 of insanity here, but she will get to stage 3.
This is me every night when I'm trying to go to bed and I can't turn off the thoughts. Remember that time you stole an eraser in the 3rd grade, Steve? I can't stop it.
Yeah, she's losing it here, but just like
That's the exact face I make when I'm thinking about that eraser.
Yeah. But then I think the doorbell chimes. It's Picard, and she kind of like pulls herself together. She's like, "Okay, brush the hair. I'm not crazy. I'm just dealing with something."
Yeah.
Picard comes in. And
I mean,
says,
he would have known right away if she had those crazy strands going everywhere. She's got to straighten up.
Exactly. She says, "Well, it's just kind of weird, but I keep hearing a song." He's like, "Wow, that's weird. Maybe you're just tired."
We always all of us have had that tune stuck in our head before. It's like,
She's like, "I've never heard this song." Well, that's even weirder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Picard's like, "Well, take some sleeping pills if you have to. Or
Take
something.
some sleep inducements
Yes.
for your
Do a little
hysteria, Troy.
It's not the best advice, but I appreciate that he followed up and tried to figure out that there was something wrong with her here. But yeah, he doesn't really necessarily put it together that these things are connected. He's just saying, "Well, I guess Troy's having a bad day."
Yeah, why doesn't she like try to hum the tune to somebody? Like, I keep hearing this song. It's like, what song are you listening to? It's like, I've never heard it before. It's like, okay, but like, what's the song?
It's clearly the song from the ice cream truck. That's what I
Data would presumably recognize it because
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but she doesn't. They don't try that. Anyway, so Troy's like, okay, fine, I'll take some sleeping medication, Captain. See you later. And then there's red alert all of a sudden as the got to head to the bridge.
I do like how that red alert's presented. Like, it's just like all of a sudden it's red alert, and he's like, oh, the light's on, you know?
Is that the sound you were hearing? No.
Roxanne. It's turned on here. He heads up to the bridge, and Riker is in command. As I guess this is what the Husnock warship looked like. This is the approximation created by Kevin Uxbridge. As Picard comes to the bridge and go, "Where did that come from, Worf?" I don't know, sir. I
Everyone
can't
slow
explain
turns
it.
to Worf and is like, Worf? Care to
Worf?
explain?
I checked every star system. It was hiding under an asteroid, guys.
Yeah,
Coming
but they say it
along
was
here.
like hiding behind the furthest moon or something. And I'm like, okay.
Worf, you just told me in the corridor, like minutes ago, that this was you would stake your reputation on this.
Don't you remember the Andorian story I told you, Worf, Mr. Worf?
Oh yeah, that's Data's like this is amateur.
Yeah.
Can't even scan. I can't.
That face.
I forgot to check.
I'll
the
work
furthest
overtime
moon.
shifts this month to make up for it. Really sorry.
The shift, that's the face you make when your manager's like, did you do that project for me? He's like, yes, I did. And then you go to check the file link they sent you, and then you have to request for it. It's like,
Yikes.
Yeah, Picard's like, all right, well, I guess I have to deal with this massive warship coming at me now. And it has like these powerful like electric beam weapon. It's a blue stream that comes at them.
They say it's
And
like gigawatts or something crazy.
it's only like 40
gigawatts.
Yeah, 40 something watts, megawatts, gigawatts, or whatever, which doesn't seem like much. So the Enterprise just fires this warning shot back at the ship, and it's like, oh, geez, I brought it away. I brought it away. They're like, well, it's running away. So pursuit course. Let's go after it at high warp. And as they try to like overtake it, it keeps increasing warp. It keeps like matching their trajectory.
Yeah.
Come on, catch me. Just a little further. Come on, you can do it. Catch me.
Yeah. I love Rikers. Give us a superior curve.
Yeah. Yeah, they keep matching our curve. He's like, give us a superior curve, Ensign.
Curve it
Jordy,
more.
Jordy, give me warp power. He's like, you got it. We're up to 9.5 in 10 seconds. Here we go. You know,
We get 9.37 any seconds. There's.
But the Husnock illusion keeps going away here. It's still not working. And Picard goes, well, this is weird. Maybe we should turn around and give up on this. And everyone's like, what, Picard? I thought we could attack. They destroyed the whole colony. We have to bring them to justice. Whatever. No. Let's turn around. I guess this one's getting away, Riker says. Yeah. I wonder, like, when they did get that far away, would Troy still hear the music that whole time? Like, does Kevin Uxbridge?
So,
I guess
like,
if the Husnock ship is this far away, then his powers extend at least that far, right?
it also
so-
seems like his powers don't have a limit. Like,
Maybe
this
they
guy-
don't. Yeah.
Like
But
this
he
is like
doesn't-
Q level power that this man has, but we don't really.
But he's
He-
always
he wiped
surprised.
a whole species everywhere. So
He's always surprised, like when the Enterprise arrives. He's always surprised when like they beam down or they beamed up. So his powers don't give him like sort of knowledge of everything happening around him, but he can create these illusions that maybe don't have like a limit to them.
It seems as though it's like they're illusions technically, but they're real enough that like they can trick anything. And they technically are real, but I wonder, like, if he was to die somehow, right? Would all of his illusions dissipate, or do they exist as long as he's alive? Does he have to choose to drop them? How does it work? I don't really know.
Well, it's really interesting to me at the end when Picard is talking to Rashawn and says, you are a person, you have thoughts and feelings, and in every way you're real, but you don't exist.
Except you're not real.
Except you're not real and you don't.
Yeah.
And then she disappears, and then, but up until that moment she was. Like it's kind of like that's the powers of the Dowd and their creations are a little bit. I would like to know more about it.
Yeah, I tried to look it up. There's never been another example of a Dowd existing other than this guy, right?
No, I don't think so. Not with that name.
So I just had a whole wild theory with me here. What if when Kevin Uxbridge dies, the Huskback, whatever they're called, they all come back.
All 50 billion and reappear.
All 50 billion of them reappear, just like the
reverse
Thanos
snap.
Yeah, exactly, right? His whole thing has been an illusion this whole time, and his illusion's over when he ultimately stops existing.
That could cause problems for the Milky Way galaxy because this Husnak might be an aggressive species. With what does Uxbridge say? He says referring to their intelligence, hideous intelligence.
Something like that, yeah.
It's that they're so smart, but they have almost no empathy or compassion for any other living beings beyond themselves. They only care about destruction.
Right.
Which
See, that sounds like a fun season-ending fucking villain. Let's bring it back.
Yeah. Too bad Kevin Uxbridge died, and now here come the Husnak. Yeah, it could be. That could be an interesting thing to do.
Dude, that'd be a great Starfleet Academy season. Come on, let's do it.
Maybe. So back down on the planet, Kevin and Rashawn, they're doing some gardening or something here. And Picard beams down with Worf, startling them, seemingly.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought they were maybe trying to figure out how to make a new well. Where he's like, whatever the frick that machine is he's using, like looking for water veins or something. Like, there's some water down here.
There's some water down here.
But at the same time, he doesn't need it. he doesn't need water.
Need it, and he can create water from an illusion. Like he can make imaginary water for her to drink, and he doesn't need anything. So anyway, they come down and say, well, we brought you a replicator, and Kevin's like, we don't need it. I can make my own. And she's like, shut up, Kevin. You know we need the replicator. And I don't know you're a Dowd. So we have to keep this going here. And we're not turning any way from the house. So a transition back to the Enterprise. Deanna's having a rough day. She's, make it stop. I'll do anything to make it stop.
Yeah. It's quite intense.
It's quite intense. It's like I make it stop, Dr. Crusher, and she's like, okay, let's get her over. She gives her some kind of a hypo spray, and she says this should calm you down. And she goes, it's no better.
It worse.
I'm no better. She's like, let's get her to sickbay. No, don't take me to sickbay. The music will only follow me in sickbay. I can't go there.
No, she's gonna put her to sleep. She's like, no, the music's gonna follow me in my dreams.
It's not a dream, and you're just like, this is rough. Holy crap! Help this woman, help her quick. Which then transitions back to the planet with Picard having tea with the Uxbridges in this seemingly serene environment. It's all picturesque. Rashawn telling the story of how she met Kevin as a young man. He talking about his he was a penniless artist.
Yeah, he had his threadbare suit and shit. Like he has no money.
Mismatched shoes.
I thought they didn't have money in Star Trek.
They don't.
Yeah.
This would have been around the early 24th century, which is kind of around the time,
It's always interesting when you watch an old episode like this, so the early episodes of Star Trek from the first few seasons, and it's written clearly by a person who's using that sort of nostalgic way of the pen to be this is sort of poetic in a way, but it's so outdated where they don't even try to modernize it or in any way think about how it would be in the future, right?
Yeah, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit in this future setting. It does enough to kind of tell the backstory of how the Uxbridges met and how they got married. But a little tweaking with the script, I think, would have been better there.
It's like they're trying to romanticize a thing that doesn't necessarily translate to a world in which money doesn't exist and everybody's needs are taken care of. This guy's just an artist walking around being like, my shoes got holes in them for some reason. I could replicate a new pair of it.
I don't want to take away my credit.
I need to earn those shoes.
Exactly, through my art.
He's a die-hard capitalist. He's going to do it for himself.
Yeah.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Worf is just chilling, drinking tea.
He doesn't like the tea, the face he makes. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
It's no prune juice.
Yeah.
It's definitely no prune juice.
What do you think, Mr. Worf? No good with the tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Nice house. One of the best Worf lines of them all. Which then moves back to the thing. Picard gets more back into the business of it all. What are we going to do? Why are you spared? Like that warship came back, and you're not safe here. You need to come with us, right? And Rashawn's like, you told me they would never come back, Kevin. Oh, they won't come back. How do you know that, Kevin? I don't, but I don't like you scaring my wife.
Yeah.
Can't you see I'm just trying to calm down my hysterical wife, you son of a bitch?
Right. They then explain this whole thing about Kevin being this pacifist, that he doesn't believe in violence, and that the other colonists, they wanted to fight the Husnak. How they wanted to fight them, I'm very confused. Or how, because the Husnak never beamed down, we're told. They never saw their faces. They just kind of attacked from orbit. Yeah. So what were you like, pew pew at the sky?
That's what I was picturing in my head. They're just all firing into the sky, like,
quick, get the catapults.
Yeah.
Right. And Rashawn is saying, no, because my husband wouldn't fight. He would never hurt a fly. He would never hurt anything. That I stayed with him. I chose not to fight with the other colonists. And isn't that a plausible reason that they could have been spared?
That's what I was thinking too, is that like maybe this particular race will only attack if it's being attacked, but we don't really go into it. Because he can't die. The real reason is that like everyone was wiped out except for him, because it's impossible for him to die, I suppose.
Right, exactly. But like that would have been a plausible reason that he could have given them.
Right, but I mean, the only thing that doesn't make that plausible is why were they again the only ones? Because they wouldn't be the only ones to not attack if that were the case. And what, like, there's such a perfectly edge-trimmed line outside of their house. It's like, that's okay. Sure, you didn't attack, but what about probably the other 20-30% of the population on this planet?
Like, there was 11,000 colonists. Presumably, some of them were like children. Some of them were,
That's why I said like a moderate 20-30% of them most likely wouldn't have been attacking force. So like, where are they?
And maybe another pacifist. Maybe Kevin doesn't have the monopoly on that. Right.
Speaking of that, he is such a hardcore capitalist that like he only recreated the property that he owned, like right down to the property line and everything. That's why it's so straight.
It's kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
he's still doing surveys, making sure nobody's fence is on his side.
My property line ends exactly right here.
That's why I set those traps.
Yeah.
Swear to God, if I see Daryl's dog shit on my lawn once again, I'm going to burn this planet to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good one. Anyway, Troy has been put into a coma here or some kind of version of that by Crusher up in her quarters, but she's still acting in pain, like she still hears the music.
I love how she's scanning her with a hard drive.
Yeah, it's like this kind of
looks
weird,
like an NES cartridge.
Yeah, I didn't know the shot.
Like, hold on, let me do this.
It actually like lights out.
Blow into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even some of like the instruments around her here and whatever else. But anyway,
she basically also says like I've almost completely turned off her entire brain, but it's still fucking going crazy in there.
It's interesting that they haven't developed some kind of means of like telepathic shielding, right?
Around
Because
yeah, we don't get a lot of that in this show. That sort of evolves in Voyager. There's a lot of I was thinking about that earlier. Voyager has a lot of telepathic countermeasures via Tuvok and Kess and all that stuff, and they work on some technologies that shield them, but like TNG for the most part just kind of, it seems like new territory for them when it comes
it's
to
new.
Diana.
It's new, so it's often treated like magic, right?
Yeah.
But there would be a science to it, presumably, and there would be a way of.
It's new, even though Beta Z is a Federation planet.
Yeah, which has a long history of telepathy. I'm sure they have data they could share upon, but
and they're not the only telepathic race. Like the
humans.
Vulcans are telepathic, and others. But anyway,
for that being said, how come this ship doesn't have one Vulcan on it? Where's the Vulcans on the Enterprise?
we saw him last week. He was in the string quartet with.
Oh right,
O'Brien.
well, bring him in and have him fucking be like,
Mind melder.
I'm busy. I'm just a violinist. Anyway, up on the ship, guess who's back on the bridge here? The Husnak are back.
Husnak return.
Husnak return just as Picard and Worf beam back up. We get to see these new two-piece uniforms, and we get to see two instances of the Picard maneuver here. First, Riker adjusting his pulling the down there, and then Picard follows shortly after because they ride up two ones.
Yeah, Riker's immediately ridden up.
Right, and Worf's like, I don't even have a chair, so it's not a problem for me. Emmanuel saying, this is the perfect old Trek-style episode. Meet a godlike being, and you will probably only remember one or two things, and on to the next episode. New Trek would overthink this episode. Maybe they would overthink it. I think that what's nice about it is how simple it is, like, of a story.
It also has so many implications that you could overthink, but like the show doesn't necessarily do that. And then, like we were talking about earlier, they don't even ever revisit an entire species that's been eradicated of over 50 billion people, as well as the god that did it. Like, we never hear about anything like this ever again.
Yeah, just like, maybe want to send an archaeological team to their home world, wherever that is, just for interest there. But you can just see how much bigger the Husnock warship is compared to the Enterprise. Like, it dwarfs the Enterprise considerably, and the Enterprise is a massive ship in its own right. But the attack this time is no 40 gigawatts or whatever. It's much stronger, much more powerful. It's affecting the shields, and you get really a sense of, like, if Kevin created this, like, his powers are extensive. Anyway, so they try to fire back, but it's not going well this time for the Enterprise. They're getting beat up, so Picard's like, I guess we got to run away and leave Kevin and Rashawn behind. We can't help them. First they try to fire everything they can at them.
I think Picard says, I think we've shown exemplary patience, number one. And then Riker's like, full spread, fire torpedoes and phasers.
Fire everything we got.
Rapid fire all weapons. But it's just like the ship just keeps getting closer and like has the most intense shields.
It does. They almost look like Borg shields, the way that they like kind of have that distortion effect.
There's no feathering on these shields.
No, exactly. The Husnock just keep coming. We see this guy back in the background.
The backflip man.
He's just standing there with a pad for no reason.
It's great.
He goes,
after he does his series of somersaults, Picard just like looks back at him for a second, and then just looks back up to the front. Does not acknowledge that he might be dead. Yeah.
Sick bay, send somebody up here, please.
No, that's Riker's job to call for.
Yeah. So the Enterprise has to retreat as the Husnock pursue them. And I think after a while they go for a little. They run away. Picard goes to check on Troy, who's still in rough shape here, and Picard is starting to put this all together. He's figured out that somehow Kevin and Rashawn, or some version of that, is somehow controlling all of this. I don't know how he figured out Rashawn specifically was not, like, it was only Kevin and not Rashawn, but.
I think that he's I don't know if he necessarily knows exactly what's going on, but I think that just based on his first interaction with the two of them, he is the one that's acting far more suspicious, where she's like way more forthcoming with information and her emotion. He's very closed off and just a little bit more mysterious as a person. And all the information that he gives is like, don't talk to me. I don't want you to go in there. Okay, you can go in there. It's always sort of like he's putting up walls.
And his recreation of Rashawn is so accurate that he's not like controlling her outright. Like, he's not controlling what she says and does, from at least from moment to moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Picard gives the call up to Riker. He's like, I know we're running away. I want you to stay running away for about another hour, and then we're going to turn around and we're going to head back to the planet. And Riker's like, our shields won't be repaired by then. And Picard's like, doesn't matter. We won't need them, I think. Pretty sure. It's a good hunch. So let's head back here. And the Enterprise arrives back. The Husnock seemingly gone. Which
I think this is where he infers that he's like, I think we're being toyed with, because we tried to chase this ship. It was too fast for us to catch. And then when we fled, they didn't pursue us, which is like, why wouldn't they? Obviously they're
fast enough.
Yeah,
you know?
they could have. Yeah. So
right. So they still detect the house. Worf and Picard go back down. They're going to beam down, which Riker was like, that's dumb. What if the Husnock come back? And he's like, they probably won't come back till
they will. Yeah.
They will come back till we beam back up, I bet you. So Picard returns. We see the music box still going here, the source of Troy's anguish, as Kevin and Rashawn are dancing around, to which I like Picard's little line here. Where's this?
Apologies if I interrupted a waltz.
A waltz.
Well, a waltz. I guess he actually says that when he beams them up. Anyway, what are you doing here? I thought I sent a Husnock ship to scare the living daylights out of you. Well, you did, but it didn't work there, Kevin. But even their surprise at Picard and Worf showing up again is part of the clue. You know, he's a fan of Dixon Hill mystery novels here. Picard, he likes what good putting it all together. You know, saying, well, the Husnock, they're powerful. They beat us in the fight. You don't want to stay here. Rashawn's like, but Kevin, you said they would never come back. They won't. It will be fine. Is there anything else from this conversation that I'm missing?
He kind of gives them. He gives them the exact reason why they should leave or would leave or could leave. I guess they say like we were going to stay in orbit around the planet until you die, basically. Yeah. As long as you're down here, as long as you guys are down here, we're not leaving. Basically.
Yeah, I think there's something weird going on here, and I'm on to you one way or the other. So we're never leaving.
He also says like they revisit the pacifist stuff, and he's like, "Would you ever kill for Rashawn? If Rashawn was in danger, would you ever kill to save her?" And he's like, "No, I wouldn't kill for anyone ever."
Yeah. So they ask Picard to leave. He's like, "We're never leaving. We'll go, but it's a ship, but we're not leaving orbit. You can't make us."
But
You'll never enter this house again, but we're just gonna monitor you guys.
Yeah, Rashawn also like infers that she does want to leave. She's like, "I think maybe we should leave, but I can't leave Kevin, and Kevin's refusing to leave, so I'm not going to leave." Basically, unless you can convince him, I'm staying as well.
So as Picard and Worf come back up, it's red alert. Guess who's back? The Husnock.
Shocking.
There's starting to be a pattern here. And they're like, should we run away? No. Picard's like, no, let's not run away. The Husnocks start coming at them. And instead of going at the Enterprise, they're like, no, we don't even care about you anymore. We're heading for the planet. Picard's just watching this all play out.
Hold fire. Yeah.
And Riker's just clueless. Riker's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We're watching the lemon party now. Sit back and watch.
As we see, the Husnock just launched one of their powerful weapons just at the one house, at Kevin and Rashawn's house. And Worf's line here is like, the house has been obliterated.
Yeah, the Uxbridge house has been obliterated.
Yeah.
Computer, popcorn. It's like,
popcorn. Any life signs? No life signs. And he's like, okay, fire a torpedo right at them. And with one little torpedo, boom, Husnock destroyed. That was easy. Too easy. Later on when Kevin says that the Husnock had this hideous intelligence and that I tried to trick them with stuff and it just made them more mad. Like, I don't think his like tricks are very convincing, right?
No, he seems like he's kind of dumb.
I don't even know if the Husnock are necessarily that intelligent. Yeah. I just wonder.
Of course he's dumb. This whole episode could have been avoided by him just going, yeah, okay, let's go. Like, why has he got to stay on the planet? He can recreate her anywhere.
Mm-hmm. True. But once he meets a Abydozoid, they're going to be on to him or something? I don't know.
There's so many silly things that he's like, it's almost like he's like a child where he's like, I'm going to recreate only our patch of grass in our house. And I'm not going to make sure that the distress signal has been intercepted or turned off or anything like that. Like, all of this stuff is just like him kind of being aloof, not paying attention very closely to things.
Mismatched shoes. Anyway, so Picard goes, Riker, do we have any reason to stay? He was like, well, the only survivors are dead and the Husnock have been destroyed, so no. He's like, good, I'll be in my ready room. Let me know if anything comes up. And Riker's just like, this blind trust I give this man. I don't know why I do it, but I guess that's what we're going to do. Everyone, just let's hang around here. We're just going to look at this dead planet.
4 hours later.
4 hours later, Picard's just chilling in his ready room, just waiting for something to happen. Fish. Hoping he's right. Hoping letting that house get obliterated was the right call. Imagine he was wrong, you know. Like, whatever.
Just let them die.
He just let them all die. Whoops.
Yeah.
So Riker's, I don't know. He has like this kind of like, what are we doing, sir? And should we perhaps leave? But Picard, I think there's something fishy going on here. My Dixon Hill skills are working overtime, and I'm going to solve this mystery. Or maybe I won't.
Riker basically is like, I know you're waiting for something. You want to just tell me what the fuck you're waiting for? And then Picard's like,
Nope.
Go into higher orbit, please.
Why would I do that?
Would ruin.
You might be listening.
Even Worf's like, why are we looking at this planet? It's dead. This is boring. Can we leave?
Yeah, Worf should shut the fuck up after this episode.
Worf's even in the last episode where they were trying to find like a reason to get out of the fight with the Shellyak, and he was like, fighting would be preferable to this. Anyway, but all of a sudden, it's just as Worf complains, Jody goes, "Oh, there it is! I just found the house. It's back.
Yeah,
it's back. Let's have a look on the view screen. The little green square is right back where it was. Isn't that quaint? Well then, should we beam down? No. Let's just beam them right to the bridge.
screw that.
Should I obliterate it again?
This far, no further.
What if they protest, Captain?
Yeah, that's Data. Data's like, what if they protest? He's like, oh, I hope they do. Let's go. As they're beamed.
Oh,
up
I
here.
swear to God, I hope they're waltzing when we beam them up. It'd be so funny.
They're having sex when they beamed up. It's just like,
Oh
this,
my God.
this is quite awkward.
Sorry, I hope I didn't interrupt your waltz.
Anyway, so they say, what the hell? This is kind of like the whole unraveling of everything in this moment. Picard, how he put all the clues together that there's something more nefarious going on here to help his crew member. You need to help my crewman. What is he talking about? Oh, Kevin knows what I'm talking about, Picard says. And
You put that shitty music in her head. I know you did.
You put that music in her head, didn't you? What are you talking about? And this is when Kevin eventually walks away from Rashawn, and Picard's like, guess what? You ain't real. You seem real. I can touch you. In every way, you're a person.
That touch is so awkward too. The way he's reaching so far, like. See?
Right. And Kevin listening here, sort of looking away, and then, but you don't exist, and then she's gone. The transition here is a little bit. I guess it's the 90s. They didn't know yet, but it's just when you slow it down.
She takes into she looks like a Who from Whoville.
Exactly.
Or
turned
one of
into
the spear builders from Enterprise.
Right. Yeah. And then that even more so with
Yeah,
that
she
one.
looks like a changeling. Like Odo. Yeah.
Bye, Rashawn.
This is a broken mannequin.
Worf's like, what? Who made me tea then?
Yeah, wait.
Was that
What
tea
was
that
that tea made of? No wonder it was disgusting.
I
Turns
told
out
him
it was his
nice.
piss. Kevin Oxford made tea from his pee.
Yeah, it was the peach tea, just like Lex Luthor. Anyway, so then as Picard says, everything was fake except for you, Kevin. And then Kevin turns into a big ball of light and leaves. And Picard's like, no, if he's that powerful, he would have killed us already if he wanted to. I'm trusting that there's something more here. Down in Troy's quarters, Crusher walks in just as Kevin is removing the thoughts from her mind.
music from her
The
mind.
music. I've taken the music from her mind. She'll be fine. It was a minor inconvenience, really.
She may be permanently scarred, though.
She barely felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a flesh wound, really. Anyway, so what? This is where Picard eventually comes in, and he gives us the explanation of what he is: a Dowd, the powerful god being, how he lived a life as a human for 60-something years with Rashawn, that she never knew what he was, and that he tried to trick the Husnock, and it only made them more angry. And he's, well, did you have guilt that you didn't die with them? And he goes, no, it's more than that. Here's the speech.
Oh, I wish I could have died with her. I saw her broken body. I went insane. My hatred exploded, and in an instant of grief, I destroyed the Husnock. I didn't kill just one Husnock, or 100 or 1,000. I killed them all. All Husnak. Everywhere. Are 11,000 people worth 50 billion? Is the love of a woman worth the destruction of an entire species? This is the sin I tried so hard to keep you from learning now.
We're not qualified to be your judges. We have no law to fit your crime.
Except for genocide.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Also, they have no, like, they could never hold him, I guess, right?
They have no way. They have no way of like
No.
detaining him. Is really the truth of it. And
Yeah, like when he's like, "What do you intend to do with me?" Nothing.
Nothing
Like,
at all.
what can we do? What could we do? Even if you do you want to turn yourself in?
Call Q. Q.
Q,
Get over
we need
here.
help.
Yeah, the only one. Yeah, it would have to be like a more powerful entity that would, or of equal power at least, to even try to do that.
Maybe the next time Q shows up, Picard's like, "Oh, actually, Q, before you go, there is this guy."
Can we call the Metrons? Can we call the Organians, perhaps, or someone?
It's Nagilim on the hotline.
Is Nagilim around? You need like that kind of level power here.
Yeah.
So Kevin, after hearing that, he decides to turn into a big ball of light again, and I guess he goes back down to Rana 4, where maybe he made Rashawn again. It's not really explained. They decide that they're going to leave the Enterprise. They're not sure if they should feel bad for Kevin or condemn him. How do you guys feel? Is he to be
Condemn him
condemned?
for sure.
I would probably have asked him to go to a planet that wasn't a colony planet, like somewhere else. Find a rock and make your little world in another area that is a far
But
away.
it's not a colony planet. It is an ex-colony
Not
planet.
anymore.
The colony is so now he gets to live his purgatory of lonely existence on the rock. Just don't send any more people there. Put up a buoy.
Yeah, exile for sure. Just mark it. Picard, put a little buoy out there, being like, "Stay away."
There's a guy here who killed 50 billion people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I definitely
his mind.
condemned him. His solution was to have everyone die.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah, like if he had destroyed the entire ship, that would have been one thing. But that's the whole thing, and he could have stopped this whole massacre of the colonists in the first place. Like,
I'm a peaceful person, a passive person. I won't
but he
kill
didn't
him.
have to,
You all die.
he didn't have to kill them, presumably, to stop their attack. Like his powers were so infinite. He could have created a fleet of ships. To
He
at
said
least,
that he went insane, so I assume that in that moment of
Sure.
insanity, he just pulled a Thanos and was like, "Well, this is the way I'm going to solve this," and then obviously felt bad about it afterwards. So I guess he can't resurrect people, right? Like
Right.
Rashawn
Can't
is
bring them
an
back.
illusion, right? She's not real. He can't bring her back to life, but he can create a sort of facsimile of her. So he couldn't undo the 50 billion deaths, I suppose. Whereas, like, could a Q do that? Could a Q undo that? Because they have control over time and stuff.
Yes,
too, right?
I think a Q could undo that.
Yeah.
They could even set back. Q's powers are more limitless. This guy, he can't seem to move, back in time or anything like that.
Right.
Like he's kind of stuck in the present, but he has a lot of power here in the present. I don't think he did it to avenge the 11,000 colonists. He did it just to avenge Rashawn.
Yeah.
It's specifically about her, and this is something that not just Star Trek writers, but writers in general have presented this idea that the love you have, sometimes it's a spouse, sometimes it's your children, is so primal, so raw that it can lead to this. It can lead to you killing 50 billion people in a moment of anguish and grief, doing something horrible, because that's the power of love, I guess.
Right.
But 10 seconds, he's like, I would never kill or fight or kill anyone, even for Rashawn, until she was dead. And then I went,
Then I did. And I'll do it again.
and I was mad, right?
Yeah.
He did. I try. My next mission will be go to the Husnak planet and recreate 50 billion Husnak, and
I'm
Fist fight
telling
each and
you,
every one of them.
teach them how to
Season-
waltz.
Season 3 of Starfleet Academy, the first episode, they're trying to, retrace the steps of
I've
the
enjoyed your
Federation.
company as always, but it appears it is time we said goodbye.
It's not. It's not time to say goodbye. Sorry.
All right. The Starfleet Academy crew, they're retracing the steps of Starfleet history. They come across this planet. They want to check on, see if this Uxbridge thing would happen with this guy. Turns out he's still alive, but he's at the end of his life cycle, ends his life cycle. Huskbach come back, then you got a whole season of trying to deal with this 50 billion species of Thanos snapped creatures that are, wondering why they woke up 4,000 years later or whatever it is.
By then it will be like 6,000 years.
Yep,
Right?
or whatever it
no,
is.
600 years. 600 years, not thousands. 600. Okay. Anyway, so that's good. Maybe some trivia for this episode and some fun facts or details discovered by Dave. I will we'll head into that before we officially rate the episode. Always fun to get some goodies on that kind of stuff. So the outdoor scenes in this episode were shot at a beach house in Malibu.
I feel like that was
sounds
kind of
right.
I got that vibe. Yeah.
Director Les Landau recalled, "We were on location for a day. It made not only the audience but the crew happy. But when you're tied to shooting indoors every day, it gets a bit monotonous. We were lucky enough to go out to Malibu, and we had a beautiful summer day. I think it was a unique story for Star Trek and one of my best works to date." So they were happy with it.
Cool.
John Anderson, who plays Kevin Uxbridge, had lost his own wife only a year before appearing in this episode. Due to this, he almost turned down the role. He's like, but I really related to that killing of 50 Husnak people. So,
I was about to kill 50 billion human beings, but then I got this role.
and then it was better. He died only 3 years after this.
Yeah,
as
I was
well.
looking at his IMDb, and he died the same year he filmed this. Or not, sorry, not. This is the last thing he did, I think. That's what I meant to say.
He died in 1992. So yeah, this was 89.
Yeah.
This was the first episode that Deanna Troi wears her new turquoise uniform. Where she would continue to wear on a rotating basis with her maroon and dark gray unitards. This is the first episode to include a continuous shot from the main corridor complex to the corridor outside the holodeck cargo bay entrance. Picard and Worf walk down the main curved corridor until they pass the holodeck door, though it is not identified as such in the episode. These corridors were connected, presumably during the breaks between season 2 and 3, after the holodeck corridor and entrance were moved to a different angle.
Yeah, even in just this one episode, the ship feels a little more alive in terms of like the sets and stuff and the connective tissue between them. I like it.
Yeah, it does make a difference for like those walk and talk scenes and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
As I've mentioned, both guest stars play characters that are much older than they were in real life at the time of shooting. 67-year-old John Anderson plays an 85-year-old Kevin Uxbridge, and 55-year-old Anne Harvey plays an 82-year-old Rashawn Uxbridge. This seems to indicate, as with the 137-year-old Admiral McCoy seen in Encounter at Farpoint, that the average human lifespan is much longer in the 24th century. Haney would subsequently play an even older character, the 100-year-old Els Renora, in the episode Dax. She was a Bajoran, yeah. Riker says in learning of the only surviving area of the devastation on Rana 4, a few acres of tree and grass indicate an anachronistic familiarity with the U.S. imperial system of measurement rather than the 24th century standard metric system of hectares. Even us Canadians here didn't pick up on that.
No.
And we're using the metric system. I think that's almost it. I'm just gonna see if I can find one more for us here.
I got one. I got a little interesting fact
ahead.
if you want. So the guy who played Kevin was in the original Psycho, directed by Hitchcock, and then the Rashawn was in the remake of Psycho that came out in like the late 90s. Which I thought was kind of cool and interesting. But I think that wasn't made. The second one wasn't made until I think well after this episode was aired. But I thought it was cool. I thought that was a cool fact.
So Jonathan Frakes and John Anderson were both in a show called. I've never seen this show. It's called North and South from like the 80s. Kevin, have you ever seen it?
No, I've never heard of it.
It was like about the Civil War and stuff, and Frakes was on it with like Patrick Swayze, and I think David Carradine was on that show, and some others. And so I think they played like relatives because Frakes played Stanley Hazard and Anderson played William Hazard in that show. So, John Anderson played another role where his character was involved with the music box 14 years before this one. In 1975, he played Amos Pike in Little House on the Prairie's episode Haunted House. A man so broken by grief, he holds onto a music box to aid in his delusions. The box plays music, a large role in both stories. I loved me some Little House on the Prairie. way of the day. I gotta tell you, I used to watch that show on YTV in reruns. And when Captain Picard and Worf beam down to the planet for the first time, Kevin is using a tool on the grass with a lighted pole, and the top unit with handles has a circular light. The same tool was found by Picard when Vash came on board in episode 20 of season 3, titled Cupid. And I think that's it.
They don't tell us what it is. Like, what is he using that thing for?
Well, could be anything.
Checking the pH balance of the soil.
Perhaps. It's contaminated by a lot of Husnuk weapons,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, we did say he was kind of dumb. Maybe he's tricked by his own illusions.
He's just
like, God damn, we got to find water or I'm going to die.
That's like the worst thing. He's like immensely powerful, but not that bright. Like, you know, or no smarter than the average person, seemingly. So
he's aging, guys. This is not how you address senility.
Yeah, he's thousands of years old. He's getting up there. All right, let's go to our ratings section of the episode and figure out what we want to score this episode. I will go to Steven first tonight.
I think that I would give this a solid 7.5. I think that it has everything that I like about this type of Star Trek episode. In terms of like presenting the mystery earlier on and then not giving you enough to be able to fully solve it, and then you kind of are able to let your suspicion drive you, and that's the enjoyment of these types of episodes, right? Is trying to piece it together as you go. I like these ones. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna go to World Mind next.
This one gets a 6.5 for me. I like all the like Uxbridge stuff of the storyline, but the whole Deanna going insane over the music, like it's not
worthy of an Emmy. Is that what you're saying?
It's not. Yeah, it's not Marina Sirtis' best acting. She doesn't get much to do other than like flail around and scream in pain about music and like act all aloof. And there's not much to it other than the fact that it's like some weird side effect of this guy's powers. It's not anything he's doing purposely. It's not anything that leads them to the revelation that he is who he is. It's just a weird side plot that leads nowhere. And I don't need it, I guess, in this episode. Really? Like, you could take out all of this and the episode would completely run fine as is. Yeah. So yeah, this is a lot of points for me. So
okay,
6.5.
Right, fair enough. All right, Kevin, not Uxbridge, Millard.
6.5 as well. Pretty much the same reason. I don't really like the Troy stuff either.
Oh.
It's kind of boring.
I think it's great. I don't know. I think it's like it's just the darkness of the episode and sort of the themes.
I think it would have been better to have her just not be able to read him and be confused, or something.
Yeah, or like slowly like breaks it down, or more interaction with her and him to justify her presence, other than just her being like, there should be people, but I can't feel anything. There's something about it, but I can't tell you more. The music! I can't stop hearing the music! You know, like, that's
you're gonna love the clip I'm gonna play you out on here tonight. All right. So, all right. Well, then, here's my turn. So, I think it's pretty good. I'm going 8 on this. So I guess I'm the high mark tonight. This on IMDb, I always just like to check to see where we compare. So we're averaging 7.1. This IMDb rating on this episode is 7.7.
So that means you're wrong, Dave. You're wrong.
Actually, I'm closer to being right.
Yeah.
No, you went over.
I went over. I did. I would lose the Price is Right style type of game here, but this is the highest rating so far of an episode, IMDb wise, of this season. Because the first episode, Evolution, got a 6.5, 7.4 for the Ensigns of Command, and now up to a 7.7 for episode 3. We dipped on episode 2. We only averaged 6.8 there. So anyway,
it's that final speech by Uxbridge that carries the most weight in this episode. Like,
I didn't kill them. I killed all the Husnok everywhere. I just love the way he talks too, the way he delivers it. Okay, well, thank you to the whole panel for your ratings and your thoughts on the episode, and we look ahead to our next episode, which is called Who Watches the Watchers, Season 3, Episode 4.
You're a god!
You're a god. The Picard. He is a great man. And, you know, they're going to be dressed up like Vulcans and using bows and arrows and all kinds of things. Ashley Millard, she specifically asked to be on this episode, Kevin. So
all right, I guess I'm on next week.
You are, because you were already signed up for it, and so you know, so you're just going to be you'll be a team for that one. We're also going to have Heather, and Adam, and possibly Chris if we need to. So and Stephen, thanks so much for being on your first podcast with us tonight, the first live-long podcast outside of radio theater.
Absolutely. If I ever have a free Thursday again, I'm down to come back. I love TNG, and I like talking about it. So
it's always fun. This is always a fun podcast. We always, typically agree within a point or two. Anyway, anything we should plug right now? Worldmind. Any shows coming up?
I've got a Trivial Debates that I'm trying to schedule for like the last Sunday of October. It's got to be a Halloween themed one. I just need to find a host and 3 willing participants to dance the dance that is Trivial Debates. We got nothing solid on that yet. I've been reaching out to folk to see what they say. Nobody wants to respond to me. I'm probably just gonna go hang myself. Yeah.
No. Well, it would fit with the Halloween theme, but like,
right? I'm gonna decorate it. I'm just gonna have an hour of me and my dangling feet from the ceiling. That's all.
No, that seems drastic. I'm sure you can find people. Like I would do it, but Halloween's not my favorite thing in the world. So like it is.
No, there's spooky lovers. I just need to lock down and do it. I've just been distracted with stuff. So,
all right,
but it'll come together because Trivial Debates always has at least one episode a month at some point.
Well, of course. Speaking of the Survivors, we are back now covering a new episode of Survivor on Super Mater Brothers podcast every Wednesday night. We were just on for episode 2 last night. So if you follow Survivor, go check out our coverage of that. I'm on there with Jason R. Phillips. Often I'm there with Jaemeel Robinson, Becky Robinson, Josh Foster, Jeff Mater when he doesn't have to work at the curling club, which seems like always now. So but we have a lot of great Survivor podcasts over there. And what's going on at Hey, did you see this one? I know you're off tonight.
Yeah, so typically we do our show every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We took a week off this month because there are 5 Thursdays, and good for you guys because now I can come talk about Star Trek for a night with you all. We do it every Thursday. We're about to start the next theme, which is October, and the Grimoire of Familiar Killers, which is a thing that we do twice a year, where we break down the movies in famous horror movie franchises. This month we're introducing a new franchise, which you'll have to tune in to find out what that is.
Jason already told me last night.
Well, everyone else has to tune in then.
All right.
And then other than that, I am also the voice of Darth Theorist, as well as the Three-Eyed Theorist, where I am the narrator, and the character voices for a bunch of characters where we talk about Star Wars and Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and the Game of Thrones one in particular, because that's more my jam, I guess, than Star Wars. Love it. I love some of these ones. Like, what if like Redley gave Status the figure or something? I'm like, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's jump
explore the depths of it in the video.
Exactly.
Yes.
Awesome.
And other than that, I also have Stanland, which has just come to its conclusion, but we're also doing spin-off episodes of Stanland now, where we just finished the Dumpsters and Deadbeats, where I play an orc named Ukla, and we're starting up on a new one where I'm going to be doing a bunch of character voices for that as well. So stay tuned for that stuff.
Oh, excellent. Well, speaking of which, I started discussions today with Ashley and Heather to talk about the next installment of Star Trek Radio Theater, maybe coming up October sometime, so look out for that, Stephen. We can maybe we can get you in there. And
for
others.
sure.
Also, here on Live Long and Podcast, every Monday night, we're talking about a show called For All Mankind. It's not a Star Trek show, but it is kind of a science fiction show. Kevin Millard is on that with us, along with Heather Narduzzi, Adam Woodward, Jeff Mader, Jody Simpson. This next one we're covering is called Season 3, Episode 6, titled New Eden. This season is all about going to Mars. It's been really awesome so far, so check that one out if you go watch the show and hear our thoughts on each episode of For All Mankind. All right, well, I think that's it for tonight, everyone. I want to thank the whole panel and everyone for being here. We'll see everyone here next time. And just because you guys all loved the Deanna Troi stuff, her screaming in pain, I think I'll play you out on this. Make It Stop one more time. Let's go.
It's a music box. It's been in my family for generations.
It's the ice cream.
Yeah. Ice cream man.
Oh, stop! Please, I'll do anything. Make it stop! It's so loud. It's getting louder. Please, I can't stand it. Make it stop. I hear it. It's still there. It's so loud. Take her to sick bay. No.
Give her the Emmy.
I want to stay in my quarters. I can get
Put her
you
out
to
at
sleep.
airlock.
I don't want to sleep. The music will only follow me.
I can induce delta sleep, block out even your deepest dreams.
It's not a dream. It's real.
Have a good one, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.